Hello, welcome back to part 11 of the Clio 182 build, and welcome back to Andian Autos Motorsport. Now, when we left off last episode, had the block up the right way, and basically all I've done is I've pushed it about 2 feet and ratchet strapped it to the little trolley that my toolbox sits on, because now we're going to put the cylinder head on this bad boy. And there it is. Now you might go, why have you ratchet strapped it? It stands up on its own. And it does. But when you're doing the cylinder head bolts up, it tends to want to disappear off over the floor. If you're lucky, and if you're in my situation, have 2 engine stands, seeing as I've got one of my own on 1 engine stand, you won't so much have this issue, but you'll have the engine stand trying to disappear off over the floor. So you either end up sort of jamming a wheel on your foot or something like that, or you could just push it right next to something you can ratchet strap it to and do that. Now, I've got the cylinder head gasket on, and I've literally just wiped this over. It's clean, it's straight. These marks are sort of negligible, wouldn't worry about them. They're just stains. Put these little caps back in, and the cylinder head gasket goes on. Now it can go on that way, or it can go on that way. As you can see, that looks really wrong. So that one goes in there. Don't know why, but it half covers that hole. It's not even a hole, it's just a blank for something. Same as that one. Oil drain back, it's good. Yeah, we appear to be looking good. Just want to check. Where the main, that's that. Yeah, they appear to be gallery feeds. So that's on, that's like that. It's clean. The pistons are halfway down, and basically if I just sort of set you up here, I'm just going to grab the cylinder head, sort of drop it on. There we go. Down. Those little posts sit into recesses in the head. Now, that's down. Pistons are halfway down. And we have a pack of brand new head bolts. So, I'm just going to place them up there whilst I as per normal, and really organised. Haha! More assembly lube. Now, this time, what we're going to do is we're going to get the assembly lube and just run some down there and a bit under the head. and start in the middle. And run it down. Again, same with the next one. So on and so forth. Now, just checking that the cylinder head is all the way down on the gasket, which it appears to be. So now, we take our torque wrench, and for this is really intelligent of the French. Okay, looks like I'm using a long one. Right, there we go. Stage 1 of the cylinder head torquing is 30 Newton meters. So like my ears hanging outside. Stage 1 is 30 Newton meters. Stage 2 you probably haven't guessed it, is 30 Newton meters. Yeah. So from now, leave it 30 minutes. They love this 30 number. Leave it 30 minutes, come back in 30 minutes, retorque to 30 degrees, and then add 180 degrees. 30 Newton meters and then add 180 degrees. Now, when I did them up, I started from the two insides, from the two middle. Now, some people say work in a spiral, or do them two. Either way, you do these two first, the middle two. Then some people say work in a spiral. Personally, I do, for me, top one, bottom one, then diagonal, and the reason you want that is, whilst the cylinder head is very thick, you want to clamp it from the middle. So you want to clamp it from here and spread out. You don't want to clamp it here and have the cylinder head do that. You want to push it down in the middle and then sort of push it out at the sides, and it will sit on the gasket lovely and flat. So what I'm going to do is, whilst I'm here, I'm going to take the timing pin out, I'll show you that in a minute, and wait 30 minutes basically, come back, retorque them, and then I'll pick up with you again. So I'll see you in a moment. Now, when you're doing this part, if it's anything other than 180, 90, 270, you need to use an angle gauge, and basically all you do is it fits in here, and there's a little leg that comes out, you can poke or rest up against things, and as the base turns, you see the little thing on the dial move, and that's it. But because this is 180 degrees, you line your bar up with that one, and guess what? You turn it until this part is over here. It's going to be no less accurate than you turning it with a gauge, because you know that from this side here to this side here is 180 degrees. So it's only as accurate as you turning it. So this is the reason I had it bolted down. I'm just going to tighten that up. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to move the camera back slightly. .180 degrees. Now I've done that one, junk drawer. So just put a little mark on it. Really, camera's in the way. There we go. Now, as you can see, I'm out of breath. Excuse me. That takes an immense amount of effort. And if you've got it just stood up, resting against something, it's not going to work very well. that's not going to go well for you. It's just going to spin round, and as you can see, I've got a, I don't know what that is, 3 foot bar, I think it's 3 foot. It is 2 foot 2. I've got 2 foot 2 bar on that, and that's a lot of effort. Next is camshaft installation. Now the crank is still, and the pistons are halfway down, so without touching anything I can put the cams in, and if the valve's open slightly, it's not an issue, don't worry about it. Whereas if you had the pistons at TDC and you open the valve or try and clamp the top down, it's not going to go well. So what I'm going to do is grab the cams, put some seals on them and put them in, show you how to do that. And actually I've got a VCT seal to change, so I'm going to do that and go from there. So I'll catch up with you in a mo. Right, and I'm back. Now, there's no gasket for the top of this, and what you have to do is you have to put RTV around this edge. Now there's some places that you put it and some places you don't put it, and you put it from here, this edge here, because there's a gasket, a seal that runs around here, around the inside of that, down this edge to the back, because there's another seal that goes in here, across this back, seal here, along here, down this edge, across there. You go from here, across there, round here, and down these. Don't go anywhere near these. These don't need to be siliconed, RTV'd, whatever you wish to call it. So it's as simple as now. Exactly the same situation as before. More is not better. So, camshaft. Sits in there. Now the seal on this intake one is too big for the shaft. And that's because the VCT, that should be closer to the edge, the VCT goes in there. So this one goes in here. Get the seal straight. This seal is the correct size, as in it fits on here nicely. So, now we've done that, the cams are in. On this end, on the timing marks, where you've got the round hole, the slot is cut offset. Round hole is cut offset. Now, if you put them both in, so the slot is up, and it will become obvious what way they should go when you put the timing tool in. The timing tool will fit both ways, but there should be, if you've got the little Renault one, a little tab that comes off of it that will only bolt up one way. So let's get the top on. top sits down on little dowels. I'll get some bolts. Now, there's 4 long ones. They go in the front, and the rest are the same length. Okay, no they're not. That's a short one. That's a longer one. You have one this length, and they should poke out about 10mm. So if it pokes out 10mm, that's a short one, that's a short one. And you know what I've forgotten to do? Yep, you guessed it. Yep, I forgot to lube it. Right, let's try this again. Now, being organised, like I'm not. These are 12 Newton meters. So right, they're all torqued, apparently. So I'm just going to run over them one last time. And before I do that, yeah, I just had to check that they were 12. Yep. 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 Well, that's that done. They're in. So now let's square that seal up and put the timing tool in the back. But that's for the next episode. So if you like the video, please leave a like. If you like the content, please subscribe. And I'll see you again later in part 12 when we do the timing. Ciao.